Hey guys, let's get to hiking. All right guys, we are over here at Jasonville, Indiana, outside Jasonville, Indiana at Shakamak State Park again. We are getting ready to do Trail 2. Trail 2 is located just a little bit to the south of the swimming pool. You've got a couple shelter houses and a playground and pit toilets in the immediate area, so got a few amenities. But let's get on the trail. I'm going to try to beat the rain today, so that might prove to be interesting. We'll see. So Trail 2 is a loop trail. It'll intersect with Trail 1 here in about a mile or so. So you can do both these trails separately or you can combine them. Makes for a pretty good hike. We'll be walking along the shore of Lake Shakamak here in just a little bit. Not all the snow's gone, but it's trying, but we had quite a bit. So there will be some stairs on Trail 2. So keep that in mind. So if we were doing Trail 1, we would turn that way, but we will be crossing this metal bridge coming back on Trail 2 as we walk along the shore of Lake Shakamak. Still kind of froze, but like I say, the weather's trying to get warmer. So let's get going. So the trail itself is pretty well defined, but you want to watch your footing. There's going to be some exposed roots, things like that, trip hazards, I guess you could call them. And like I say, there's going to be several sets of stairs, so just be aware. It looks like this first bridge we come to's had some issues. So if you're over here when it's wet and icy, or just be careful, these stairs can get slick even in good weather if they're wet. So coming from my perspective as someone who's over 65 and in reasonable good condition, I would probably call this easy to moderate, because like I say, there's a few climbs, but basically rolling hills. It's not terrible, not terribly steep, and like I say, quite a few sets of stairs that you'll have to navigate. There are the crows. But it's a hike through an old growth forest, which is pretty nice. And like I say, we'll eventually end up hiking along the shores of Lake Shakamak. Below us there is Park Road. All right, let's keep going. All right. So I forgot to start my Garmin watch. I don't have a good mile marker, so to speak, but I'd say we're less than 2 miles in, and there's a nice bench to take a break if you want to just sit and relax and hang out in nature. coming up on quite a few pine trees. My guess is these were planted. But yeah, another structure. Yeah, it's, other than a couple of crows singing, it's pretty quiet over here, pretty calm. Not really any kind of breeze to speak of, so pretty peaceful hike. Always like seeing pine trees out. I always thought those were pretty cool. Again, like I say, a lot of ups and downs, a little rolling hill action. Some exposed roots and stuff. And trail's reasonably free of ice from all the cold weather and snow we've had lately, so that's good. All right, one of the attractions, so to speak, on Trail 2 is, I believe it was actually a mine entrance. It's kind of been redone. I know my video on is not doing it justice. Okay, so this, where we're getting ready to go, is part of an exhibit. This shaft was part of a coal mine exhibit built by the CCC, the Civilian Conservation Corps, around the middle of the 1930s. Okay. But there's pictures of an actual mine entrance. And a group of hardy coal miners who were iron men back in the day. So, now you can't go spelunking here. It doesn't go back very far. Maybe 10, 15 feet tops. So, still pretty cool. But even if you could go back further, I probably will pass on that kind of activity. There's remnants of something, some kind of bridge over this little stream, I guess. Running water is always a pleasant sound. Goes back up through there. Well, I don't think we're a mile in yet, maybe 3/4. Apologize for not having my watch tracking our distance, but we've had a bench and now a pretty nice picnic table. Small pond down through there. Let's see. Pretty neat. Well, I guess you could say we're walking through a pine tree grove. Quite a few of them. A lot of pine needles on the trail. So. Almost like you're hiking somewhere other than Indiana. All right, another picnic table. Well, if you sat here in the evening, you might be able to catch a deer or two crossing the trail, phone line or something. Where, like I say, you can hear the traffic noise and see some of the cars, so we're pretty close to the highway we drove to come in. And I don't know how well I can pick these up, but some of those exposed roots I was talking about, you got to be watchful of. So I've watched a lot of other people's videos that hike over here at Shakamak. And this tree has been down for quite a few years, but it's not really obstructing the trail too bad. So, well, they call it limbo, when you go underneath like a broom handle as low as you can go. I think I can manage this one. So this stairway is probably the most elevation gain you'll do on this trail. There's quite a few steps to it. Just enough to get your heart thumping a little bit, or at least mine. But there is a nice little bench if you need a break, or if you just want to hang out for a little bit. And we made it. So another picnic table. With a pretty nice overlook, I guess. If I'm not mistaken, there's a cluster of cabins back over that way. There's that cluster of cabins. That's at the top of the hill. I'm going to cross over Park Road again and pick the trail up. All right, another bench. This one's pretty recent. I remember the older one there. You can see the tree behind it. It crushed it. So, park staff over here is pretty good about keeping everything maintained. And I call this selfie fence. A couple of good places to mount your phone. And here in just a minute, we're going to walk around the edge of a pretty soggy area that's pretty mushy all the time, so I'll show you that. All right, for the most part, I think we can manage to stay out of the mud and off the ice. I hate going through stuff like this when it's that muddy and soft. I don't like leaving boot prints in the trail, but a little bit of caution and care, and I can keep from busting my butt, and also not rut up the trail any. So yeah, at least not too bad anyway. Ice is melting, but it's still got a little ways to go. All right, we're coming up on Lake Shakamak and an intersection for trails 1 and 2. So we're on trail 2, going counterclockwise. So you would cross that bridge to follow trail 1, which it goes around Lake Shakamak 2. We'll be doing that trail, probably wait till after the rain, snow melt, and when it's a little drier. And up over the hill, I believe that's part of group camping. So Shakamak's got quite a few cabins. It's pretty nice. Okay, one of those areas you need to be careful with your footing. That's the direction we just came from. I'd say Lake Shakamak is the smaller of the 3 lakes over here. But I've seen some guys fishing over here and they've caught some pretty decent largemouth bass. So they're in here. And on the far end, I believe we've got paddle boat rental, kayak, so you can do that. And then of course they've all got the John boat rentals you can get. So plenty of opportunities to enjoy these lakes over here if you're so inclined. So just a note, this trail runs pretty much right on the edge, and like I say, it's a little icy, so probably won't be filming. I'd sure hate for you guys to hear me and see me slip and fall into the lake. So I'm gonna watch my footing and be careful. So my recommendations over here at Shakamak, even in warm, nice weather, is sturdy hiking boots with some good tread that offer you plenty of support. Because like I say, there's a lot of things you can slip and trip over if you're not careful. Some of these trails can get wet and soggy and slippery in spots. So just a recommendation from an old 65-year-old hiker. Just make sure you got good footwear. Yeah, like I say, Lake Shakamak's pretty nice. Gorgeous when it's in spring and summer. And then when you can get over here, during the fall when the leaves are changing colors, it's really nice too. So yeah, trails 1 and 2 are probably probably trail 1 is the premier trail over here. It's almost 4-mile loop that goes all the way around this lake. So a lot of good lake views. And then like I say, some of the other trails are just, you know, old growth forest trails that are pretty nice. Got a pier over there. That's where the pool and the nature center's at. It's across the lake over there if you can see it. And it's probably hard to see from here, but we're approaching the metal bridge. So you start on 2 and then you get on 1 for a little ways to make it a loop trail. crossing this metal bridge and going up the hill to the right to the parking area. So I'll see you up there, give you my final thoughts. So see you in a bit. All right guys, thanks for joining along with me. That was Trail 2. Start off here at the parking area, go counterclockwise, you'll intersect with Trail 1, and you want to follow Trail 1 back, and it makes it a nice loop, probably about 2 miles. Trail can get soggy in spots and has a few exposed roots for trip hazards, but other than that, a few ups and downs, but nothing real serious. At my age and condition, I'm going to call it easy to moderate, so it's a nice little hike. And you can do trails 1 and 2 over here. One thing I like to do is start off on 2 like we did today, and when we get to the intersection of 1, I'll jump off on 1 and follow it all the way around Lake Shakamak and end up back here. So makes it a nice loop, and you can see parts of all of Trail 2 and parts of Trail 1. So anyway, highly recommend it. A lot of fun, even on a cold, soggy day like today. All right guys, as always, my best to you and yours. And next week, supposed to get some really nice temperatures here in the Midwest where I'm at. So I might be going to Shakamak State Park or Brown County. I haven't decided yet. So I'll see you guys on the next adventure. As always, my best to you and yours, and take care.